Hey nerds, welcome to CW's Flash, Theories and Conspiracies. I'm Brian from Good Nerd Bad Nerd, and this was a fun episode. I think all the Flash episodes in general are getting really fun. This one was Grodd Lives, and so much of what we were hoping was going to happen and they've been building to and teasing finally really did happen. Iris confronts Barry because she figures it out. I think that's something that I know myself and a lot of people online liked. Unlike the previous timeline where Barry reveals it, when he is confronted by Iris, you can see that kind of hurt. And I really like that she figured it out herself. And I think last week I was critical of the little static electric shock, but they explained that in a way that I think made sense. So, yeah, just thank you for letting Iris figure it out herself. Grodd was just fantastic. I love that he isn't in prison. I love that. It looks like at that last moment where he's jumping off the building, it's hard to tell if it was a tidal flash or if actually Reverse Flash did come in and grab him, if Wells did grab him. So Grodd is just fantastic. And I like that he's not actually talking. It's all telepathic. We're not seeing a big animated gorilla talk, because that would probably not come across as well. But what they did was just fantastic. This also showed us the return of General Eiling, and this was just great storytelling and how far ahead that they had Harrison Wells planning, and that he knew he was going to need a distraction at some point. It was just very cool. Of course, because Wells was watching them and knowing that they were plotting and trying to figure it out, and it was just very cool. And Cisco's little line of "you never throw away any good tech" was pretty awesome also. So that takes us into what we think is going to happen. One concern I have, and this is kind of something that may come into play, is Thawne Wells, he's making serious changes to the timeline. He made Barry the Flash much sooner than he was supposed to be. That also leads me to believe he made Grodd much sooner than Grodd would originally have come around, if Grodd would have come around. And then the third one, and this is kind of a big one, is all of that information he told Eddie. If he hadn't told him that, Eddie's life probably would have gone on the same way. Not being a very distinguished officer, not ending up with Iris. We know he's not going to end up with Iris, but what's Eddie going to do now? What lengths is he going to go to ensure that he is not forgotten, that he is not a pointless detective? And I'm kind of wondering if this is going to push Eddie to become Cobalt Blue. Now, Cobalt Blue is a villain, kind of insane and got a lot of issues with Barry. I think it may be from Earth 2, but in the comics, the Cobalt Blue character is actually Barry Allen's twin brother. There's a weird story about Barry's mom and the lady in the Thawne family were pregnant at the same time. They deliver at the same time, but the Thawne baby was stillborn. So the doctor did a switch and gave Eddie, who actually in the comics is Malcolm, to the Thawne family and told Nora that one of her twins was stillborn. So once Eddie Malcolm figures that out, he becomes a little bitter at the family he was with, and he pushes them towards magic to become Cobalt Blue. So I doubt that, but it's possible that Eddie is going to try and do something to change the stakes. So it's a really weird storyline, like all comics. Every character's background is insane, but it only works in comics, right? The teaser, though, the teaser for next week's episode, this is where we get maybe the precursor to some sort of Justice Society or Justice League, because we have Firestorm, we've got Arrow, and he wasn't shown in the episode, but we could easily get a return of Adam. But the coolest moment is, I think and it was hard to tell because my recording cut out, but I think we have Eobard Thawne popping his Reverse Flash suit out of his ring, which would inspire Barry to later on do that. And it's just a very cool callback to the comics, because the Flash would stuff his suit in a ring and that way he always had his costume with him. So very cool episode. I think next week is going to be just kind of outstanding and epic. And I think we're gonna have there's gonna be time travel. The episode has to end with time travel, and so we'll see if this leads to Flashpoint or just something else. Something else, maybe a crisis event. Some really hard to say. But what did you guys think of the episode, and what are your hopes for the season finale? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out the blog at goodnerdbadnerd.com, or follow me on Twitter at goodnerdbadnerd. So for Good Nerd Bad Nerd, this has been Brian, and this has been CW's Flash, Theories, and Conspiracies.